Climate Change: A Global Emergency and What We Can Do by Leon Wei. Hello everyone. Today I will be discussing climate change, one of the most urgent challenges facing our planet. What is climate change? Climate change refers to a long-term change in weather patterns and temperatures, primarily driven by human activities such as burning fossil fuels. These activities release greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, which trap in heat in the atmosphere and cause global warming. Since the late 19th century, the Earth's temperature has risen by approximately 1.2 Celsius. Current statistics on climate change. Here are some key statistics that highlight the seriousness of climate change. The concentration of CO2 in the atmosphere is the highest it's been in over 650,000 years. Global temperatures continue to rise, contributing to more frequent extreme weather events. We're seeing twice as many climate-related disasters now than we did 50 years ago, which includes floods, hurricanes, and wildfires. Additionally, over a million species are currently at risk of extinction due to changing ecosystems. The current impacts of climate change. The impacts of climate change are being felt all around the world. Rising sea levels are threatening coastal cities and island nations, forcing communities to relocate. Extreme weather events such as hurricanes, wildfires, and droughts are becoming more common and more severe. Melting glaciers and ice caps are contributing to these rising sea levels, and the loss of biodiversity is accelerating as species struggle to adapt to changing environments. Climate change disproportionately affects vulnerable populations. Who is affected? Small nations such as the Maldives face threats due to rising sea levels. Low-income communities also often live in areas prone to extreme weather, but lack the resources to recover. Farmers in regions affected by droughts and unproductive weather are seeing crop failures, which impact food security and future generations, which will inherit a planet facing the long-term consequences of our current actions. Efforts to combat climate change. Fortunately, there are group efforts underway to combat climate change. The Paris Agreement, signed by 196 countries, aimed to limit global warming to well below 2 Celsius. Nations are transitioning to renewable energy sources, like wind and solar, to reduce their carbon emissions. Grassroots movements such as Fridays for Future are pushing governments to adopt stronger environmental policies and act now to prevent further damages. What still needs to happen? To effectively combat climate change, we need to take immediate action. Countries must reduce carbon emissions by transitioning to renewable energy, like solar and wind. Governments need to implement policies that limit greenhouse gas emissions and protect natural ecosystems. On an individual level, we can all help by reducing our energy consumption, using sustainable products, and supporting businesses and leaders who prioritize climate action. Call to action. In conclusion, climate change is a global challenge that requires a collective response. We can all make a difference by reducing our carbon footprint, supporting climate-friendly policies, and by educating others about the importance of sustainability. Together we can create a future that is not only sustainable but livable for our future generations to come. Thank you. Before I end this presentation, I would like to share a video by National Geographic about the causes and effects of climate change. I found it very informative and I thought this would be the perfect way to end the presentation. I hope you enjoy and thank you.
Human activities, from pollution to overpopulation, are driving up the Earth's temperature and fundamentally changing the world around us. The main cause is a phenomenon known as the greenhouse effect. Gases in the atmosphere, such as water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, Nitrous oxide and chlorofluorocarbons let the sun's light in, but keep some of the heat from escaping, like the glass walls of a greenhouse. The more greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, the more heat gets trapped, strengthening the greenhouse effect and increasing the Earth's temperature. Human activities, like the burning of fossil fuels, have increased the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere by more than a third since the Industrial Revolution. The rapid increase in greenhouse gases in the atmosphere has warmed the planet at an alarming rate. While Earth's climate has fluctuated in the past, atmospheric carbon dioxide hasn't reached today's levels in hundreds of thousands of years. Climate change has consequences for our oceans, our weather, our food sources, and our health. Ice sheets, such as Greenland and Antarctica, are melting. The extra water that was once held in glaciers causes sea levels to rise and spills out of the oceans, flooding coastal regions. Warmer temperatures also make weather more extreme. This means not only more intense major storms, floods, and heavy snowfall, but also longer and more frequent droughts. These changes in weather pose challenges. Growing crops becomes more difficult. The areas where plants and animals can live shift, and water supplies are diminished. In addition to creating new agricultural challenges, climate change can directly affect people's physical health. In urban areas, the warmer atmosphere creates an environment that traps and increases the amount of smog. This is because smog contains ozone particles, which increase rapidly at higher temperatures. Exposure to higher levels of smog can cause health problems such as asthma, heart disease, and lung cancer. While the rapid rate of climate change is caused by humans, humans are also the ones who can combat it. If we work to replace fossil fuels with renewable energy sources like solar and wind, which don't produce greenhouse gas emissions, we might still be able to prevent some of the worst effects of climate change.